Hey, what's up, cats and kittens, and shout out to all my Cerebralites. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I'm back with another episode of You Say What. Now, this is your chance, your opportunity to chime in, add your 2 cents, and be a part of the discussion and a part of the community that we are creating in tandem. So today I want to talk about a video that I saw a couple of days ago, and it's about Black YouTubers, and more importantly, it's about supporting Black YouTubers and exactly what that looks like. So if you're on YouTube at this point, you probably come across a video or two of just YouTubers in general, black, white, and everything in between, complaining about the demonetization of videos that's happened over the last maybe month or two. And it's affected a lot of people's income detrimentally. A lot of people, have left, or they've stopped making videos, or they're just, it's been very disheartening for a lot of people. And I definitely understand how and why that's the case for some YouTubers. So I watched this video yesterday, and this particular YouTuber was talking about how he was basically comparing Black YouTubers to white YouTubers, and showing that while Black YouTubers in many cases have more subscribers than some of these their white contemporaries, their Patreons don't reflect that. If you don't know what a Patreon is, it's basically a way for you to support the YouTuber directly, because most people on YouTube are making income from advertisements, from advertisements. And since the advertisements were stalled last month, it's impacted a lot of people greatly financially, and so a lot of people were turning to Patreon to supplement their incomes. Now, I do have a Patreon account. I don't necessarily advertise it on here because, I'm one of those people, I feel like if you want to support financially, you do. If you don't want to support financially, great. If you do, it's Cerebral Diva once again on Patreon. But that's not my goal for being on YouTube. My goal isn't necessarily to make money. That's not why now that's a great fringe benefit, but it's not my primary goal in being on YouTube. I'll tell you guys, what really brought me back to YouTube was Black Lives Matter. I was watching everything happen from Trayvon Martin to Tamir Rice to Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland. I was watching all of these events unfold, and I wanted to have a voice. I wanted to speak to those experiences and talk about what was happening in the community that I was a part of, that i.e. being the Black community. So I signed up for YouTube, and I'm like, I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to talk about these issues. I'm going to, add my 2 cents to the discussion, because I think it's vital to be a part of what's happening in the community that you're a part of. And YouTube is a conduit for me to do so. So that's why I reopened my YouTube account. Now, if you come to my channel, you'll probably see videos about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You'll see videos about pop culture, just random sort of topics. And for me, that's really not where I'm focused in my daily existence. If you're at my house, you'll definitely see some reality TV, but you'll definitely see me watching CNN, C-SPAN, Al Jazeera, and dare I say Fox News, because I want to, I believe too much information is better than too little information. So I like to hear all sides of arguments so that I can make a more informed decision on where I stand on certain debates. Now, I create the content on my channel because sometimes you need a break from that stuff. Sometimes, you can be sort of at the brink of Donald Trumpdom, where you just had enough. I'm so sick of hearing about Donald Trump. I'm so sick of hearing about Russia. I'm so sick of hearing about Sean Spicer. I'm so sick of hearing about Kellyanne Conway. People just get tired and you need a break. So that's why I sort of tried to do a mixture of topics and, talk about reality TV, talk about pop culture, and then throw some politics and social issues in there as well, because I want it to be a mixture of different things. Now, being a woman of color, I definitely understand that my tastes are skewed in one direction more so than the other. Like, you're probably not going to come on my channel and hear me talk about Nick and Joe Jonas. You're probably not going to hear me talk about Zayn Malik or, just any random actress. Now, it's not that I'm prejudiced against, white talent or, white celebrities. It's just that's not where my interest lies. So I don't really talk about that to the extent that I'm going to talk about celebrities that I'm actually interested in. So by doing so, I understand that I'm cutting off a certain demographic. There are certain people who are not going to come to my channel. There are certain people who are not going to be able to relate to the content because my content doesn't speak to them. And I'm A-okay with that. 100% have no issue. I'm trying to appeal to the people that appeal to me. I'm trying to appeal to the people who relate to me. And so if my content doesn't appeal to certain people, that's fine. And if it does, if it appeals to someone who I did not intend for it to appeal to, even better. Even better, because my channel is not exclusionary. That's not the goal, to be exclusionary. The goal is to talk about things that I'm passionate about. Excuse me. So when you talk about comparing black YouTubers to white YouTubers, very often black YouTubers talk about, well, the first thing you have to realize is that we live in America, and that America is predominantly white. That's just the fact of the world that we live in. It's predominantly white. So most of the time, the people who are coming to your channel, here in America more specifically, which is where the bulk of the viewership comes from, are going to be a direct reflection or a microcosm of the society that we live in. So if I want to appeal to white viewers, then I could easily switch the content of my channel and broaden the content and talk about issues that appeal to a broader section of people. And there may be times when you see videos where I do that. But for me, to consciously do so would be selling out to a degree. Now, when I came to YouTube, like I said, this was about me having sort of a political platform to talk about issues that were important to me. It wasn't about making money or making a buck. So the video that I saw that was comparing black YouTubers to white YouTubers in this whole Patreon was showing certain black YouTubers and showing how they had like 400,000+ followers, but on their Patreon accounts, it was, a fraction, barely a fraction of their subscribers on YouTube. And then they would show a white YouTuber who had less subscribers on YouTube, but on their Patreon account, their numbers were significantly higher than the black subscriber on YouTube. Now, why is that? I don't know. I don't know. I could speculate all day long, but at the end of the day, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what I do know. When I come to YouTube, it's not about making money. If I happen to make money, great. For me, the goal is to connect. It's the exchange of information. It's the exchange of energy with the people who come to my channel, who patronize me. To me, watching my videos, listening to my videos is all the support that I need. It's all the support that I need. Now, if you happen to go over to my Patreon account, which once again is Cerebral Diva, and you want to make a contribution to that, fantastic. But guess what? If you don't, I still welcome you in my community. I don't feel slighted. Please understand this. I don't feel slighted in any way, shape, or form if you don't want to contribute. Watching my videos is enough of a contribution for me. Now, I'm in a different situation than a lot of other YouTubers. I have a business of my own, so I'm not reliant upon the money that I make from YouTube. So I do have that luxury. So I can't speak to the plight of those who solely rely on their YouTube income as a means of livelihood. First of all, I would be terrified at doing that. And part of the reason I would be terrified is because I feel like I have no control over that. And I'm sort of a very autonomous person. I like to be in control. I like to be the one calling the shots. And being on YouTube and being solely reliant on YouTube financially means that the rug can be pulled out from under me at any time YouTube sees fit. Now, if I were to be critical of some of these Black YouTubers, the one thing I would probably be critical of is not being diversified in terms of your revenue streams. You know, it's really important to make sure that you're expanding your brand towards merchandise. It's important that you're creating your own website outside of YouTube. It's important that you're, doing hostings, wherever you can be that's going to increase your profile to help broaden your revenue streams. That's what you need to do. And beyond increasing your revenue streams, you need to be smart with the money that you're making. Just because you're making money hand over fist at one point in time doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to go on in perpetuity. You have to be smart enough to take some of this money, set it aside, and let it grow just in case. I don't know who hasn't learned about a rainy day fund. But beyond a rainy day fund, put money away in the 401k. Treat YouTube like it's a job. And save, put money into a retirement account, diversify, buy mutual funds, buy municipal funds, buy stocks, buy bonds, make sure that you're creating a portfolio that's going to sustain you in the long term, so that if and when the time comes that YouTube no longer is able to, support its content providers via advertising revenue, that you're already in a place where you can bounce back from it, or that you've already have your exit strategy to leave YouTube. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, about that. And I hope that this doesn't alienate any of my fellow Black YouTubers, because the goal is definitely not to alienate the Black YouTubers, because I'm a part of that community and I definitely have their back in terms of wanting to be supported by the people who watch our videos. But I also want the people who watch the videos to understand, I don't know what your financial issues are. You guys have your own struggles. You guys have your own financial issues, and maybe it's just too much to contribute. And so who am I to tell another person what they should or should not be doing with their money? As long as you click on that video that says Cerebral Diva, you've done me a favor. You've done me a favor. And so the favor that I do back is being able to create content. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a symbiotic relationship. I give and I get back in return. And that is enough for me. So anyhow, you guys, that's it about this whole YouTube demonetization. I apologize for my alerts. They're always going off once again. But I really want you guys to comment below. Let me know what you think. Add your 2 cents. I'm definitely very curious to know what you think about, how some Black YouTubers in particular feel about not being supported by their viewers. As always, in closing, you guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms. I'm Cerebral Diva on all social media platforms. Once again, look, I have to make an amendment to this too, with the exception of Facebook. I looked at my face. This is how infrequently I go on Facebook. My Facebook is actually Cerebral Diva, spelled D-E-E-V-A. V as in Victor. Cerebral D-E-E-V-A. But Patreon and all of those other things, Cerebral Diva. What else? Oh, as always, in closing, you guys, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It's me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a fantastic day.